Good afternoon. It's 1 p.m. and we are live on Niger Health Radio, your wellness companion. On the Balance 360 show today, we will be discussing about health benefits of coffee. Yes, you heard me. Health benefits of coffee. My name is Ogo and I am with Mr. Onyema Maduakolam. He is the head Strategic Knowledge Management and Training of Equitable Health Access Initiative. Onyema, finally, you are here. How are you doing?
I'm fine. Thank you. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
It's nice to be here.
In fact, I'm so happy having you on the show.
Finally.
Yeah,
thank you.
You're welcome to the show.
Thank you.
I know you're a lover of coffee. Every time I come into your office, there's always coffee. You're always stirring coffee. Yeah. Your love for coffee is.
Do you want to hear the story behind that? It's a very interesting.
A brief story. Yes. Let's hear the story.
Okay. All right. So I asked my mom. Women when they are pregnant, they used to have a lot of stories around babies, particular babies. So my mom told me something very interesting. She said of all her babies, when she was pregnant, she was craving for coffee. She never tasted coffee before. So while I was still in her tummy rolling up and down, it was coffee she was addicted to.
Interesting.
And then the moment she delivered, she stopped tasting coffee. So in my family, my dad loves coffee, so we're the only two coffee lovers. So I think
now I know.
I brought him from heaven.
Now I know. Okay, Onyema. So we'll be discussing about, like I mentioned, health benefits of coffee. Right. So why is coffee good?
Okay. Of course, you know that coffee is a product from the earth, one of the plants that God gave us. It's actually from the coffee bean that is processed and then brewed. The aroma, it's just like that. Fantastic. And then over the years, different cultures who have been able to extract the beans, the brew from the coffee.
Okay.
They've been able to discover that it has certain health benefits. I'm going to start with the simple one before the difficult one. First of all, we know that taking coffee kind of makes you active. It keeps you alert.
Alert.
Yes. So that's on the surface when you don't want to go too deep into all the grammar and the medical jargons. But we're going to talk about it a little bit. So we also see that coffee gives you good shape, body shape.
As in shape, body shape.
It helps you to cut down on fat.
It does?
Yes. Oh. It's also been discovered that coffee plays a vital role in ensuring that you are not a candidate of diabetes. Significantly, yes. So, that's for the layman, as in easy. But if you want to go deep, you begin to look at things like, liver functions and all that.
Okay.
Now, one of the critical things about health and disease situation in human beings, inflammation. So there are several things that could lead to ill health. So coffee has been found to play a critical role in cutting down a lot of these dangerous substances or enzymes being produced in our bloodstreams, and then keeps you healthy, extremely healthy. Okay, so taking coffee makes you technically smarter. I will also have to refer to my former bosses. I once worked with Japanese, and Japanese are interesting people. They drink coffee like it's water, man.
Wow.
And those guys are good. I must tell you, those guys are good. They have a coffee maker, and over time, of course, you know that too much of everything is bad. But these guys consume coffee like water. So of course, you know the different types: regular coffee, decaffeinated, and all that. But these guys take it. And I must tell you, interacting with Japanese, the average Japanese is extremely intelligent. I must tell you. I will not totally, attribute that to coffee.
I was going to ask you.
Yes, but if coffee can keep you alert, it gives you the opportunity to get things done And so once your mind is active, your mind is learning. And so if you have the opportunity of being active for longer, over issues, paying attention to details, definitely it means that you're going to be picking up a lot of details, and over time you get good at doing things. So yes, coffee has some ability to make you smarter. Let's talk about the liver function. There's a lot of things about liver. Liver is part of the body that God created to do a whole lot of things. So there's this liver enzymes, the ALT and AST. Don't bother yourself about all that jargon. But basically, what they do is, if you have these enzymes in the blood, it means that that person is not going to be feeling very well. I mean, it shows that the liver is endangered or on the way to being damaged. So the presence of coffee in your bloodstream lowers the presence of these dangerous enzymes. And so it means that those inflammations that will naturally cause disease are tackled, seriously tackled. And so the risk of having liver damage is considerably reduced. Yeah. Okay, so I would just like to talk about some of the things that, well, maybe because of time, we may not be able to talk about all the functions of the liver, but basically the liver helps you produce bile, helps you to produce proteins for blood plasma. It helps you to convert excess glucose, okay, into, energy, and helps you to, it has a way of helping you store it as glycogen and then back as energy as you go on. It helps you regulate blood levels of amino acid, conversion of poisonous ammonia, converts it to urea, so you pass out a lot of dangerous things as urine. So coffee helps you do all of that. The liver helps you do all of that. So, but basically, if you have 2 cups of coffee per day, it's possible that you can really, really cut down on mortality and hospitalization. Very interesting. So the rate of falling ill reduces significantly if you take coffee. And I find that very amusing because my hospital visits, sincerely, I can't remember the last time I went to the hospital. Of course, it's not like I'm a Superman, but I feel strongly that if statistically, scientifically, it's been proven that taking coffee regularly, in fact, on a daily basis, you actually reduce your ability to get ill. Okay? So
we're learning.
You probably won't have to be eating all those Mediterranean dishes of seafood, vegetables, and all that. You probably just need a cup of coffee and you are good. Really, really good. Okay, so looking at the wider benefits of coffee, you talk about cutting down on cancers. You have colon cancer, you have the skin cancer, you have endometrial cancer, and then for me, as for the guys, you're talking about metastatic prostate cancer. Prostate cancer. That is, if coffee can help you do all of that, man, you're very healthy. Okay, so the absence of let me say a substance that helps you to cut down on falling ill. That means that you are exposed to these dangers. Okay, and human beings, because we breathe in air, we walk all around, we eat all manner of things, you actually need like a system cleaner. And to a large extent, coffee helps you do that.
Coffee does that.
Yeah, it helps you do that. Okay, so coffee also contains a lot of vitamins and antioxidants. It helps your, let me use the layman's language, it helps your blood breathe. Okay, so it doesn't allow you to accumulate all manner of stuff. When I talked about body shape, coffee does not allow you to accumulate fat. Okay, so once we get that straight up, we know that coffee packed with antioxidants fights diseases and boosts your immune system. Boosts your immune system. Especially when you take it black without cream or sugar.
Just plain.
Yes. In Nigeria, for example, where we have a lot of herbal options, most of the herbal mixtures have a tinge of bitterness. And coffee is in that range too. Okay. So you are sure that your immunity is being boosted by some of those things. Now it lowers your cognitive decline. I had talked about that earlier. I talked in terms of you being smart. It helps you to remain smart for longer. Coffee actually helps you to remain smart for longer. So because we're aging every day, our ability to be smart reduces with age. But coffee reduces the rate of decline. Okay, and then coffee also, of course, if it reduces the rate of decline of cognitive skills, it also means that slipping into early dementia is greatly reduced. That means you can see an 80, 90, 110-year-old person who is extremely active, who knows what he or she is talking about. You can engage them on different things. I've talked about lowering the risk of type 2 diabetes.
Yes, you have.
And there's something else that is interesting. Coffee reduces cardiovascular mortality.
What is that?
Okay, great. It means that the risk of having heart attack is highly reduced. I mean, that for me is also an awesome point. So, for example, we hope that if someone who is obese begins to consciously take coffee, the health benefits of coffee begins to kick in, and then we have a lot of protection against cardiovascular mortality.
Okay, thank you, Onyema, for letting us know why coffee is good. We have looked at some points why coffee is good. Like the saying goes, whatever has advantage has disadvantage.
Of course.
So, because of some of the advantages of coffee, some folks consume a lot of it. And with what you've just said, I guess our listeners won't go on and on consuming coffee. So, would like to know, what are the side effects of coffee?
Okay, I'll start by saying that too much of everything is bad. There is nothing that has all the benefits in the world that if you misuse it, misapply, you're gonna definitely have the other side. Okay, so it's important for our listeners to understand that despite all the health benefits of coffee, we have what you call caffeineism. Caffeineism simply means excess of caffeine in your system, and once that happens, restlessness, headaches. You have things like nervousness, excitement, insomnia, flushed face, and then excess urination. Sometimes you have running stomach. Okay, so I was in a meeting yesterday and someone was telling me that they take little coffee and they prefer decaffeinated because of the way they feel when they take certain levels of coffee. Now, different individuals' capacity to consume coffee were different. Okay, some people can actually take a lot of coffee, while some just a little, and then they begin to have certain side effects, like the ones I just mentioned: nausea, stomach upset, trepidation on the chest, and all of that. So, but once you identify these things, you can space it out. For example, the recommended levels of taking coffee, you should be able to spread out the intake of coffee. If you're going to take like 2 cups of coffee at, let's say, 250 mils, you should spread it out to about 7-8 hours apart.
Okay.
But if you can't take 250 mils at once, you could reduce. Maybe you have smaller cups. I know someone who takes very small cups at a time, but I think the frequency too, goes a long way too. Yeah, and then it's advisable not to take coffee like you're taking water. Except it's probably highly diluted or maybe decaffeinated. Okay, but it's important to note that different people react differently to when they consume coffee. Okay, so we recommend that coffee consumption should be moderated.
Okay, thank you for letting us know the side effects of taking too much of coffee. We'll be going on a musical break. When we get back, we'll continue with our discussion on the health benefits of coffee. song by songwriter Flavor.
I can't keep myself. Smile with I can't keep myself.
I can't keep myself.
Allow me to flex. This life I can't keep myself. I can't keep myself. I can't keep myself. Allow me to flex. Many years me I done the go. Rock the mic, me I rock the show. Many hit songs when I go. Still they go say me and now they try. I see them complain of Kanye West. But speaking mind the people best. Everybody wants to be the best. But what can do without the best? I'm working on synergy over. I say I do the right time. For you them like you this land I can't keep myself. I can't keep myself. I can't keep myself. Allow me to flex. This life I can't keep myself. I can't keep myself. I can't keep myself. Allow me to flex. Nobody they carry me fast. Baby, anybody they carry me fast. Nobody know me and they pray and fast. Only God they carry me fast. Only man they carry me fast. Nobody they carry me fast. This life I can't keep myself. I can't keep myself. I can't keep myself. Allow me to flex. This life I can't keep myself. I can't keep myself. I can't keep myself. Straight. They don't clap. Whatever I will.
I can't kill myself. Allow me to flex. Oh, I can't kill myself. Allow me to flex with coffee, please. Welcome back to the show. You're still listening to Balance 360 on Niger Health Radio. That was I Can't Kill Myself by Timaya, released in 2019. My name is Ogo, and I'm here with Mr. Onyema. Onyema, welcome back.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so we have people are dropping questions here for you.
Already?
Yes,
Awesome.
already.
Okay.
So someone is asking what type of coffee is best to take.
All right, awesome. Statistically, as in scientifically, it's been researched that regular coffee is actually better. Most people think decaffeinated is better because of the level of caffeine, but regular is actually better. Both of them good, but better is regular. Regular is better.
Okay.
All right.
And another person is asking, how does coffee affect sleeping?
Fantastic question. I was going to come to that because one of the very, very good upside of coffee is it's a stimulant that makes you happy. All right, so yeah, it makes you active, and then it reduces thought of wanting to kill yourself, for example. Depression, it takes care of depression.
It does?
Yes, it does. So if you want to sleep well, for me, the way it works for me, interestingly, I like telling stories around coffee because I've had fantastic experiences. Okay, so while I was at the university, 100 level, I think I registered late. And so towards the time I registered, about a week or two, or maybe a month, it was almost examination time. And I needed to write notes and read up for exams. So I heard that if you take coffee in the night, put your leg in water, you're not going to sleep. You'll be able to. So I went to the reading room and then I did all of that.
I can imagine.
And as God will have it, I slept like a baby.
Wow.
I didn't read. And it was a miracle that I didn't flunk that exam. Okay, so for me, I sleep well. Okay, so I take coffee once a day, early in the morning. So the advice is between coffee cups, it should be at least 7 hours, at most 9 hours, if you must take another coffee in the evening. So some people might actually, that's part of the side effect, insomnia, loss of sleep or inability to be able to sleep. So for some people, their system is such that once they take coffee, it becomes difficult for them to sleep. So it's advisable for them to take it early in the morning if they must take, which is good. And then because one of the upsides of coffee is like it makes you active, you're able to burn off a lot of that energy. And so by the time you're returning back home, you're well relaxed. What happens to me, for example, is after I take coffee in the morning and I get home, I actually sleep so well. Those days I don't take coffee, I don't get to sleep. I don't know how. Maybe I'm on drugs or something. I need to check. But that's the way it works for most of us. So if you have the problem of sleeping and you need to take coffee, please take it early in the day. And then you'll be able to, with activity, burn off all of those things and then you're able to sleep.
Okay, I guess that answers your question, Bayo. If you have problem sleeping,
and you want to
enjoy the benefits of coffee, yes. You've heard from the coffee experts, Mr. Onyema. So take your coffee early in the day, before it's close to bedtime.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, Onyema, please, how many cups of coffee is safe for a day?
Okay, so from all I've been saying, I think to be safe, not to be abusive and then turning it into a stimulant or something, it's better you take maximum of 2 to 4 cups a day if you're that really interested. And then try to space it. So if you have 24 hours in a day and you need to sleep for like between 6 and 8 hours, you can do 3 cups. But make sure you spread it such that you won't you'll be able to sleep at night. Okay? So like I said earlier, regular coffee is better. And preferably, if you want to get the most out of it, it's better taking black, without sugar, without cream. And then if you must put sugar, please use normal sugar, not artificial sugar substitutes. Normal sugar. I keep telling people that, they want to be taking honey and all that. Well, it's fine, but
when it comes to coffee, it has to be sugar.
If you must take any sweetener, let it be regular sugar.
The regular sugar.
Yes, because it's made from sugar cane. Okay, just crystallized and all of that. So it's better than using sugar substitutes. Once you use sugar substitute, you're also exposing yourself to other types of diseases that can come up as a result of that. So it's important that you take care of that. It's important. Keep in mind that coffee, depending on the volume, we're saying maximum 400 mils per day. That's like 2 cups. 4 cups rather. Minimum 2 cups or 1 cup. I recommend 1 cup because of me. I take one big cup in the morning, and once I take that cup, I'm active throughout the day. In fact, except my stomach starts, pinching me, I probably will not eat on time. All right, but once or twice a day is perfect.
Okay, so let me ask you, is it healthy for children to take coffee? Can children take coffee?
Not really.
Not really. Yeah.
But while I was growing up, I did take coffee, and I usually took it at night with my dad. I don't know how we did it in those days. My dad comes back from work and he can't sleep. He takes coffee, and we are in the parlor sipping the coffee, 2 of us, and then we'll knock off. It's like that was our own alcohol, Funny enough. But yeah, it's probably not good for children, let's say between ages 0 and maybe 5, 6. But if they must, because I must confess that once in a while, I taint my children's tea with coffee sometimes to give them a taste of the flavor. So that just,
Okay. So I keep wondering. Some people say there's something like green coffee.
Green coffee.
Okay. Have you seen that before? And have you tasted it? Yes.
I'll confess I haven't seen. Okay. And I know that the coffee producing countries, Nigeria happens to also produce coffee, but it's just that agriculture in Nigeria has gone down. I hope one of these days we're going to revive it. We have plantations in Plateau, Kwara, Osun, and somewhere in Bauchi. Okay, so in Africa, I think we were second coffee producer at some point, but the volume of production has reduced. I'm aware of brown beans coffee, okay, produced in the whole world. Okay, Brazil happens to be the number one coffee producer, and I think I've not heard of
green coffee. Okay, that was someone dropped that question.
Oh, sorry about that.
Okay.
Maybe we need to research more about that.
More about
yeah,
that.
definitely,
Yes.
definitely. But we're familiar with the brown bean coffee.
Yes. Okay. So, what's the difference between cold brew and iced coffee?
Wow, that's just about preference. Cold brew. How would you do that? Okay, so the beans have been. So you just put it in water and allow it to sip into the water before you drink. Now, usually, I don't know, the aroma might not come out, but you could still enjoy the same benefit because it is the same coffee quality that you're. So, but if then the other issue of ice, right? That's just making it cold. It's like you want a cold drink.
Drink. Okay.
Yeah, so it's just about the temperature.
So you just drop the ice cube
inside.
Okay, there is another question here for you from a listener. Bio says, can someone take coffee with alcohol?
That's double dose. You're stimulating excess. It's not advisable, sincerely, because coffee on one hand is a stimulant. Alcohol is also a stimulant, and it would be good if you don't mix both. That's double dose. We expect that anyone who's consuming coffee should do that with some form of restraint and regulation.
Thank you so much, Mr. Onyema.
You're most welcome. Thank you.
Coming on
Thank you for having me.
Balance 360 show. We hope to have you around.
It's my pleasure. Looking forward to the next time.
Okay, that's interesting. So, listeners, I guess we've all learned a lot about health benefits of coffee. That will be all on the show today. Stay tuned for more interesting content on Niger Health Radio, your wellness companion. Enjoy your weekend. Bye.
Thank you.